Bati. And if you give me your eyes, I promise music and stories. And if I give you my eyes, you give me your ears. There was once a sacred place. It was a huge building, and it was 4 blocks long, 4 blocks wide. And the people, it didn't have any doors. It didn't have any windows, this sacred building. And the people would come to this building and they would put up images to their deceased loved ones, to their ancestors. They would write notes and leave them on the walls of this huge building. And they didn't know when the building had been built. They didn't know how long it had been there. It seemed to have been there forever. Bati Bati. So the people thought of this building as a very sacred place, a very sacred place. Now, one evening, a storm came through, and this storm was so violent. This storm was so raging that it lifted the building up, and it carried the building away. And the next day, when the building was gone, the people came, and there was a giant hole in the ground. Bati Bati. The people didn't know that the building had set on top of this hole, and they looked. And one elderly person, she bent over and she yelled into the hole. She yelled, "Hello," to see if there was an echo. But there was no echo. A young boy came over and he had a red marble and he dropped the red marble into the hole to hear it hit the bottom. But it didn't. There was no sound. Bati Bati. So now people would pass this hole and they didn't know what to do with it or how to explain it. But children, as they would pass this hole, the lunches that their parents had made for them that they didn't want, the children started throwing them down the hole because they didn't want to eat them, right? And when they had work that was supposed to be taken home to show to their parents, the children would ball that up and throw it down the hole and just say, "I never got it," right? But someone got very smart, Bati Bati. And the people who lived near there, they started taking their trash and they started dumping their trash down the hole. So all of the people would show up and they'd dump their trash. And a city council person saw this and got this great idea and said, "You know what? We spend a lot of money for our trash trucks to dump. We can have our trash trucks dump right into this hole." So the city council person had them begin dumping all this trash down this hole. But there was another city council person that was not to be outdone by that one who said, "Oh, you know what? Our sewage, we can redirect it to this hole and then we can dump all of our sewage down this hole." So they redirected all of the pipes and the sewage and they began dumping it down this hole. This hole became a place to get rid of anything that we did not want. Bati Bati. One day, there was a man repairing tiles on his roof. He's hammering, he's repairing these tiles. And he hears someone, he looks down, he hears someone, and they say, "Hello." So he looks around, but he doesn't see anyone. So he goes back to his tiles. And as he's working on his tiles, a red marble falls from the sky and drops to his roof and bounces off.